everybody, Sticks here with the Token Minorities, bringing you another deck on Pokemon TCG Online, and today we have one centered around Medicham-EX with the frickin' Destroyer King attack. I mean, that's just ridiculous. I mean, it's incredibly bulky at 240 HP. It has is that like Theta double? This Pokemon can have up to 2 Pokemon Tool cards attached to it, and then Destroyer King 110 base, so already it knocks out Shaymin EX's one shot. Then this attack does 60 more damage for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. Now, when I first saw this card, I misread it and I was like, oh, if your opponent has damage on their active Pokemon, then this attack does 60 more, so it's like, oh, well, I mean, it caps out at 170. That's a really powerful attack, but it's nothing like ridiculous. No, I read it wrong. That's 60 damage for each frickin' damage counter. I mean, that is ungodly. And then if we pair it with bats, where you can just spread damage around, I mean, this thing just KOs really everything. As for tech cards, we are running 1 Shaymin. That's all. That's all I need to say about that. 3 Yveltal, because this is what we want to start with because of the Oblivion Wing attack. For 1 Darkness Energy, attach a Darkness Energy card from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. So that's a quick way to power up Destroyer King. As you can see, it is a pretty expensive attack with 2 Darkness and a double colorless. So I mean, it's, like I said, it's pretty expensive, but nothing that you can't really power up with relative ease. I say relative in a very relative sense. We were running 1 Yveltal-EX. This one is the promo one with the really sick artwork courtesy of my buddy Andrew, who traded it to me. Actually, pretty much just gave it to me, so thank you, Andrew, on that. It's for the Evil Ball attack. This attack does 20 more damage times the amount of energy attached to both active Pokemon, so it's basically Arrow Ball or X Ball, but with a little more damage and a little more specific energy cost. So that's what we're going to do if something gets kind of out of control with the energy. And then we are running a 3-3-2 line of bats. Normally you run a 3-2-2 if you're running that particular type of line, but I am running 3 Golbat as well, because with Destroyer King, you only need 1 damage counter to guaranteed knock out every EX, but you do need 2 damage counters to knock out Mega EX guaranteed. So that's why I'm using Golbat. I mean, that's really, I just want to get damage counters out, and then this way I have essentially 5 turns of getting damage on everything. I tried pairing this with Fortress at first, but it was just so inconsistent, because like if you get a turn 2 Fortress, you can't really do much with it. It's able to be Lysandered out, and then you're stuck just once getting damage on all of your opponent's Pokemon, which can be nice if they're running a lot of Pokemon on their bench, but if they're not, then it's not really that big of a deal, especially if they're not running any EXs where Destroyer King already takes it out. So these bats let you target specific Pokemon that you do need to get damage on. Running 2 Level Ball for said bats, 2 Mega Turbos to aid in the energy acceleration, 2 switches because T-Tar is so frickin' heavy. I mean, it's ridiculous. 3 Ultra Balls just to get everything out, 3 VS Seekers to reuse cards, 1 Ace Trainer just to try to disrupt my opponent if they're able to get an early prize on the Yveltal, which is usually the case. You usually want to leave Yveltal out there and power up T-Tar in the background until Yveltal dies. Then you can play an Ace Trainer out, and guess what? Your opponent is disrupted and you already have a Mega T-Tar out, so that's pretty much the goal of this deck. 2 Lysander, 3-3 of Birch Sycamore, 1 Skyla just in case we need like an Ultra Ball or something. We get 3 Shadow Circle, which each Pokemon that has in Darkness Energy has attached to it has no weakness, which is phenomenal given the incredible amount of fighting decks that we encounter now. 2 Hard Charms just because it helps T-Tar take hits better, especially because we are able to attach a Tyranitar Spirit Link and a Hard Charm to a Mega T-Tar. 2 Darkness Energy, I would run more, but they get Enhance Hammered really easily, and this deck, you kind of need the energy, and you kind of run thin as is. I mean, the bats kind of clunk it up, but I just like them better because they're a little bit more like consistent in terms of getting damage where you need it. 3 DCEs for the Destroyer King. We don't need to run 4 because, I mean, once you get Destroyer King powered up, basically once this deck gets going, it's really, really hard to stop. And then 6 regular Darkness Energy because they cannot get Enhanced Hammered. So yeah, that's the deck, and let's just go ahead and see it in action. Alrighty, we have found one against Eva Sage with a Fairy and Fighting deck. That's an unusual combination. I haven't seen that one really. He does have the really cool Gen 6 starter coin, and we do get to go first. You know what? I will, even though this deck doesn't mind going second, but that does just mean I can really get stuff going first turn, pretty much. Yeah, we start with an Yveltal. Let's see. Starts with Mr. Mime. What I can do is go ahead and Skyla for an Ultra Ball to get a T-Tar out, actually. Yes, I want to check to see what I have in my deck. Is the Shaman Prize? No, it is not. We have one line of bats. I need to see what I have to work with. We have 2 lines. Okay, so we have 2 lines of bats and 2 are prize. So I'm going to grab an Ultra Ball so I can put a T-Tar out there. And then, yeah, let's get rid of Ace Trainer and Lysander. And then, I mean, I know I can get this stuff discarded from me, but that's not really that big of a deal. So, well, I mean, like, I basically just have to hope that he can't do anything. And then, yeah, that'll be our turn right there. Next turn, we are going to Sycamore, and then we can get something else going if there's a way that we can get a Darkness Energy into the discard pile so we can accelerate it with Oblivion Wing. That would be ideal. Hopefully this guy does not run Enhanced Hammer, but we do see the Mr. Mime with the Bench Barrier prevent all damage done to your bench Pokemon by attacks, so that's pretty cool. You saw that a lot with the Darkrai, and he is going to immediately Lysander out my T-Tar, probably trying to stall. That is indeed what he is doing. I am just going to go ahead and go for a Sycamore, see what else we can get. Do get a Mega T-Tar, so I am going to go ahead and power this up, throw a Hard Charm onto it, throw a Hard Charm onto this Yveltal, and then play a Shaman. See what else we can get. We do get a Mega Turbo. That doesn't help us at all. You know what? I'm just going to attach this to the Shaman, and then, man, I wish I'd gotten a Darkness Energy off of that. That stinks a lot. And my opponent just has to pass again. Oh my goodness. What I can do is use a VS Seeker to Skyla for another Ultra Ball. I kind of want to use the Mega Turbo, but I kind of, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and Professor. Should I Skyla for a switch? I feel like that's what I should do. You know what, I'm just going to... This is a tough decision, because my opponent doesn't have anything going, and I don't want to give him anything going. And I kind of would like to KO him this turn, but I don't think there is a way, because I don't have another Shaman going either. So you know what, I'm just going to resume. I'm just going to slap this onto the T-Tar, and then go for a Professor Sycamore. Hopefully we can just go next turn, which we will be able to, play the Zubat down, and then let's go ahead and end the turn right there. We will be able to attack next turn. I did draw a switch off of that, so I mean I could have used that, and we will actually win right there, just a slap of Darkness Energy on, and that was very unfortunate for my opponent that he couldn't get anything going at all. So we will just knock out the Mr. Mime and take that first game. That I don't really count that because we really didn't get a showcase what this deck was about, and my opponent just couldn't get anything going. That stinks for my opponent, so I'm sorry about that, but we will just go ahead and try to find another match where hopefully both of us can get going and you can actually see what this deck can do. Alright, we have found one against Crystal Clear Ice with a... Wow, everybody's running fighting decks. That's all I've been running into lately. And they will be able to flip the coin. This deck can go first, can go second, doesn't really mind going second. So that looks like it's going to be what's happening. We will be going second, that is. So, I mean, we can, if we're able to get an energy in the discard pile immediately. Although we will just mulligan first turn despite running as many basics as we do, so that's a little weird. And looks like we're starting with an Yveltal and then a bunch of energy. So wow, despite running such heavy of a Pokemon line, we only get one to start off with. I mean, it is the one we want, and if I can get a Sycamore, then I mean that'd be really perfect. Let's see what my opponent wants to start with. I'm interested to see what type of deck this is. It kind of looks like, I mean, it kind of looks like a Mega Mewtwo X, but I mean, then again, it could just be like, I mean, there's so many things that could be like Psychic and Fighting, and normal is just like a Shaman, so like I don't even consider that anything really. We will basically be able to see what deck this is from the start based on our opponent's playing, based on our opponent's basic Pokemon, because they did play 3 of them down. So let's see what it is. It is a Lucario. Yep, Mega Mew. It's a Lucario Mewtwo deck. That's really interesting, I suppose. Haven't really seen that combination, and also with the Deoxys, I guess, to just draw some more cards. We will start with a Level Ball, so I mean, that's nice, I guess. Let's just go ahead and, well, Level Ball for a Zubat and get that on the bench, and then I'm just gonna Oblivion Wing for 1 this turn. I mean, just get 30 damage. If my opponent manages to snipe something, then I will be able to play the Ace Trainer, but otherwise I have nothing going at all. If I can get an Ultra Ball, that would be phenomenal, because then I would be able to take it out. And he's even running Crushing Hammer. What type of deck is this? I don't understand. Yeah, he's gonna Karina for probably another just Lucario, and then, man, I don't even know what he would go for. Oh, it's a Medicham, Mewtwo, Deoxys, Lucario. That's an interesting deck. Like, I mean, I'm not knocking it, because I mean, it's clearly working better than mine is right now. But I mean, it's just interesting to have so many different lines in a deck. I mean, like, you could have a deck based on Mewtwo, you could have a deck based on Lucario, you could have a deck based on Meditite. Like, so many focuses of decks. Like, I mean, when I run a bunch of different Pokemon, they're usually support. I mean, Lucario and Medicham really don't support you, and neither does Mewtwo. Like, all of those are really just attackers, and that, by the way, that is some sweet artwork. I'm just gonna hover over that for a second, like, ah, oh, that's so cool. But let's see what else my opponent is able to do. They will go for a Professor's Letter, get a couple more energies. I wonder what even type of energies. Are they just running like Psychic and Fighting? I mean, if this is a Mewtwo X deck, then that kind of makes sense, but otherwise it really, like, it doesn't. I am actually confused by it. So I mean, we'll see what my opponent does. Like, yeah, he's probably just gonna go for a Shatter Shot for 30 this turn, unless he can get another. He'll probably play another Psychic Energy down and then hit for 60. Yep, that is exactly what he is going to do. Hopefully I can get like a T-Tar in play. That way my energy won't just go to waste, and then Oblivion Wing is able to... Oh, that's actually perfect. I'm going to go ahead and play an energy down, and really I'm just going to go immediately for an Oblivion Wing. I want this Yveltal to die just so that I can use the Ace Trainer next turn, because that apparently is the only form of support I have. And if I had a Darkness Energy in the discard pile, then, I mean, that'd be working out perfectly for me, just because... Oh, he immediately Headringers. What type of deck is this? I don't understand at all. Like, this is just confusing at this point. I really have no clue. Like, I'm legitimately confused as to what type of deck this is. I mean, if you're running Disruption with Headringer and Crushing Hammer, but then you're running Attacker, I really don't know, like, at all. I'm legitimately confused by this. So I'm immediately going to go for that, and then Professor Birch's Observations. Hopefully not Tails. Oh, we actually get heads. Wow. I don't know what I did to deserve that, but geez. Okay. And then, I need to get another energy onto T-Tar, but there's no way that I can really do that. So I am just going to go for one more Oblivion Wing just to get some more damage on the Mewtwo. Can't do anything about it. And then next turn, when he KOs my Yveltal, I am just going to promote the Zubat, go for a Hard Charm, play the Shadow Circle, play the DCE onto the T-Tar, then go for an Ace Trainer to disrupt my opponent. Because, I mean, clearly if they're running that much of a disruption deck, then, I mean, they would not mind being disrupted as well. I don't know why you would... I mean, this really must be a Mega Mewtwo X deck. Alright, so we will be able to KO that Yveltal. I'll be able to go into Zubat. And yeah, so we get another T-Tar. Don't really know if I want to play that down. So what I am going to do is go ahead and slap a DCE onto this thing. Go for that, play a Shadow Circle, and then play an Ace Trainer just to, you know, disrupt my opponent a little more. We do get a Mega T-Tar even, so that's nice. What I can do is actually, do I have a, nope, I have a Headringer, or what is it? It's not a Headringer, it's a Jamming Net. Attacks in this do 20 less. Oh, not a big deal, I can just kind of Crobat with that. So what I can do is go ahead and Ultra Ball, get rid of the Lysander, and the Mega Turbo. Probably go for a Shaman, just so I can get some more stuff out. Yes, please. And unfortunately, I do not get a Golbat, but what I can do, how much HP does it have left? Has 80. So I would need to go. So I would need to break ground, and then Lucario would immediately be able to hit me. But I think that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. Play the Yveltal on the bench, and then go for a break ground just to get rid of this Mewtwo and most of his energy. Yeah, it will do 10 damage to all of my Pokemon, but I mean, not too huge of a deal. There we go. We will take 2 prizes. Hopefully it's something that we can work with. A T-Tar Spirit Link and a Darkness Energy. Yeah, I can definitely work with that. Do we have a Darkness Energy in the discard pile? Yes, we do. So I can Mega Turbo once I evolve next turn. So I think, yeah, he will be able to... Enhanced Hammer, okay. I really don't get what his deck is. Like, what is he doing? Like, that really doesn't make sense to me. Like, I really don't understand what his deck is at all. He will just be able to Corkscrew Smash, and I think at this point I'm just going to let this T-Tar go down. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand at all what his deck is, so I'm going to put this there, play onto the Mega T-Tar, and then I want damage on this Lucario, but I really don't know how far I need to go to get it. So I am going to play that there, and then I'm going to Mega Turbo onto the benched T-Tar. Then you know what? Just because I'm going to Mega Evolve, because it will force him to not Corkscrew Smash if he wants to kill me, and if he does want to kill me, then he will have to take more damage from the dangerous energy and not darkness. Like the special energy is the dangerous energy. The regular is the darkness energy. I can't keep track of what all these things are. It does not make sense to me in the least. So I mean, I will be able to play this darkness energy this turn on the Lucario. If he does attack me, he will take damage, like all the damage that I need for him to get KO'd. And I don't understand, like, I really don't. So, okay, he will just go ahead and Somersault Kick, get rid of my Shadow Circle, so that will, actually Corkscrew Smash will even knock me out because I now have the weakness, but he will take the 20 damage, which is all I need. So, I guess, yeah, that works out. And then I'll be able to go into my Yveltal, and then just take that and then go for an Oblivion Wing to take out that Lucario. Yep, takes 20 damage, and he will take 2 prizes, but his Team Flare card or whatever is now in the discard pile, and then I can go into this Yveltal and just Oblivion Wing. I even get a Sycamore. I don't think I want to do that until next turn, so what I am going to do is go ahead and Oblivion Wing onto the bench T-Tar, just because I want to keep my DCE. Hopefully he does not have a Lysander, because if he does, then I pretty much just lose, and there's nothing I can do about that. But, I mean, I would hope that he wouldn't be able to draw into it at this point. Somersault Kick. He does Level Ball. He's probably going to grab another Meditite or something. Basically, I'm scared of the Lysander at this point. Like, that's what I'm scared of. I really hope he's just going to try to KO the Yveltal, and then I'll be able to immediately revenge kill with my Mega T-Tar. If he does have a... Let's see. If he does have a Lysander, then it's pretty much GG, because he'll be down to 1 prize card and there's nothing else I can do. I'm really hoping he'll just KO the Yveltal here. That way I can play the DCE down on this T-Tar and then KO the Lucario next turn. So, and then, like, that Lucario on the bench will not be powered up enough to where he will be able to KO me at that point. Plus, he's powering up the Zorua on the bench, and he will just go for a Somersault Kick. It will not knock me out just yet, so that's actually kind of a buzzkill. So I am going to play the Golbat down, go for damage on that Lucario, and go for a Professor Sycamore. I do not get anything that I need. I will get a Hard Charm, place that on this, and then I will just end my turn there. Whew, man, this stinks that I have to wait, but I want a Shadow Circle, that way I don't have to worry about the damage being doubled because of weakness. And if he drew into a Lysander, then that's it. I was really kind of counting on him KOing me this turn, but unfortunately he did not, so I will just kind of have to let this play out. He's probably just going to go for a Corkscrew Smash so we can draw into more cards. Maybe he'll play his hand down a little bit more, but I do not want to see the Lysander, as that would be the game. Like, okay, we do see a Muscle Band onto that Medicham, and to where Yoga Kick will be doing 50 instead of the pitiful 30. But it doesn't look like my opponent actually has a Lysander. He does go for a Starling Megaphone. Not that big of a deal. He looks like he's just playing his hand down for a Corkscrew Smash. So I mean, that I am completely okay with. And then I will be able to KO. Yep, I will be okay, actually, I think. Yeah, I think I'll actually be in a decent position, because then I will be able to promote this. Yeah, I think, whew, I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. And then I can even play the Velthal down, play a DCE onto it, and then I can go ahead. I can actually write this turn Skyla for a Shadow Circle. That's what I really needed. And then I even have a Lysander in the discard pile to where I can Lysander out that other Lucario and get rid of it with a Destroyer King. And wow, 410 damage, jeez. We will take 2 prizes off of this. So basically at this point we just have to hope he doesn't have like some insane way of powering up that Lucario. The Medicham will come in. It will be able to do... I think if he can counter the Stadium and he has a Strong Energy. Okay, so there's a Strong Energy. If he counters the Stadium, then I think that will be it, because that will then do... Then that will do... we'll do 140. Teammates, okay, it looks like he's definitely going to counter the Stadium. So, yep, it'll be a knockout on the Mega T-Tar, which will be the game. Unfortunately, like, couldn't come through. This fighting deck was a little too fighting-y. Unless my opponent doesn't have another Stadium, I don't know why he wouldn't. But, I mean, he has to counter the Stadium right now. That's the only way he will be able to win. I mean, Medicham will be able to one-shot the T-Tar because he had the Strong Energy. Oh, wait. Yoga Kick is not affected by weakness. Okay, we have a shot. Wow, I did not realize that. Oh, we're good. I mean, I think we're good. Yeah, because if Yoga Kick isn't affected by weakness or resistance, then he will only be able to do 140 damage to me, and then I will be able to Lysander in that Lucario on the bench and Destroyer King for the win. All right, I think we win. Like, I mean, I think we definitely, yeah, I don't see a way that my opponent can win because he already played down his energy for the turn. Wow. Talk about coming through clutch. I mean, that's the effect. Talk about my opponent's effect coming through clutch for me. I mean, that normally you like that because it's not affected by resistance, meaning that you can actually hit Shaman and other flying Pokemon for decent damage. But yeah, my opponent, like, he plays down the Parallel City, plays a Crushing Hammer, don't get heads. Okay, he does get tails, thank goodness. But yeah, I almost think we're okay. Yep, he does go for the Yoga Kick, only does 70 and will only do 150. And we will just go ahead and Lysander in the Lucario on the bench for the win. Oh, wow. That was also a very clutch tails on the Crushing Hammer. So yeah, I mean, this deck really caught me off guard. I mean, we were able to come through in the end thanks to Destroyer King just cleaning up, but this deck is slow, but once it gets going, it's hard to stop. I mean, naturally, if you're against fighting decks that run a bunch of Stadiums, then you're in a bit of trouble. But I mean, otherwise, it's a pretty solid deck. And we even complete the daily challenge for Darkness. Let's see the stats. Wow, we did 930 damage only on a couple attacks, and whew, oh man, that was that was a rough game. I mean, came down to the wire. It was against a fighting deck. We were automatically at the disadvantage, but luckily T-Tar was able to come through, and ultimately Yoga Kick was the MVP for not hitting for weakness. So yeah, that's the deck, guys. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. And this is Styx signing out. Why not? See you guys.